Hey everyone, it's Hayley again here, just making another video. I just wanted to follow up on something that I mentioned in my introduction video. I'm going to talk today about my struggle with my private health insurance waiting period, and also my experiences watching my mum go through the same process. She had vertical sleeve gastrectomy in May of this year, so I just wanted to talk a little bit about how that experience was for me, because it wasn't necessarily a positive experience, and I also wanted to talk about the pain, I guess, of waiting 12 months for private health cover. I am here again today in the Officeworks car park. I didn't come here specifically to film, but I thought weirdly enough, I was here last week filming, so since I was back here, I might as well make another video. It is raining and there's a lot of traffic behind me, so sorry if that's a little bit distracting, but I just get the better lighting facing this way. So I think the rain has kind of stopped, but if it comes back as heavy as it was a second ago, I'll have to stop filming because it was almost impossible to hear me. So just come back to Officeworks to pick up some more stuff. I can't begin to tell you how much money I've spent on office supplies since I started training. It's kind of out of control actually, but here I am once again. So I just wanted to talk, as I said, about my experiences waiting for private health insurance. Just a quick recap. I took out private health insurance with the intention of having a vertical sleeve gastrectomy on the 29th of December 2015. So that coverage will kick in after 12-month waiting period on the 29th of December this year. As of today, it's the 13th of November, about a month and a half until that rolls over and I'm covered. I can't have the surgery though for approximately 3 months because of a situation with my work. So I guess I'm 10 and a half months through my waiting period, and I probably have somewhere around the 3-month mark left to go. So I'm almost there. I do feel like finally I'm kind of on the home stretch, which is pretty exciting. It's kind of getting late in the year, and I think that was I think maybe because my waiting period kind of started and it was an entire almost exact year, because it is getting late in the year, I'm starting to feel like I'm almost there. So mum's surgery was about 5 months through my waiting period when she was operated on, and it's been about 5.5 months since she was operated on. I think I've got that right. Mum, you can correct me if I've got that wrong. I probably should look it up. I think it was early May, I'm quite confident. So I wanted to talk a little bit about one, the pain of waiting 12 months, and two, the pain of watching somebody that you love and you're quite close to go through this when you're waiting to have it yourself. So I guess I'll kind of try to go through this a little bit chronologically. That's probably the way I can make the most sense of how to tell you the experiences that I've had. I know that waiting 12 months is not a unique experience. I know that especially a lot of Australians have to wait 12 months, or all Australians, if they take out private health insurance, have to wait 12 months before they can have major surgeries related to an existing condition, which obesity obviously was an existing condition for me. So I know that this is not a unique experience, and I did read a lot on a forum, a weight loss surgery forum, about how to get through the 12-month period. But I guess for me, it has gone reasonably quickly, and I think the key to that was that I was quite busy in my life. I went through a few transitions during this 12 months. I think getting a new job was really helpful in that waiting for me. The recruitment process for my job was very long. It took about 3 months from application to getting the job, so that kind of gave me something to focus on. And if I'm going to give any part of advice, even though I'm obviously not an expert, I haven't been operated on yet or anything, if I'm going to give one piece of advice, it's if you're struggling with the idea of, taking out private health insurance like I had, and you have 12 months to wait, all I can say is just make yourself busy and just treat the year like you would treat any other year. I mean, if you think about the year prior to now, I think for most people feels quite like it goes quite quickly. And I don't know, I think I was quite surprised that this year also has gone reasonably quickly. It's not over yet, but yeah, I think the key to that is just keeping busy and focusing on other things in your life. I've also found this year quite helpful as far as research goes, having time available to really research different options and follow other people's experiences and processes. So for me, that was partially through YouTube. I've been watching YouTube videos on and off for the entire year, and also with my mum. So with my mum's surgery, again, I just wanted to reiterate quickly how much my mum means to me. We are really good friends and huge supporters of each other, definitely. Can't fault that at all. And I was very excited for her to have the surgery. It was a great, very positive experience watching her get operated on, and then obviously the subsequent weight loss. But this video is obviously going to focus on the negative impacts of her surgery. So I just wanted to be very clear that even though I'm going to talk about how hard it was for me, it's just a small aspect of it, and it's quite a selfish aspect of it, but I wanted to talk about it because I think that this experience is something that I'd like to be able to look back on, and also one that other people might go through. I suppose it's a reasonably unique set of circumstances, but you know, maybe it is an experience that other people will go through. So Mum and I decided to have surgery very much around the same time. I think she committed to it and started the process in mid-January, and I got private health insurance on the 29th of December, so very close together. We certainly discussed it for the first time seriously on the same day. It was Boxing Day, I believe. I think it was Boxing Day, if not the following day. And I suppose at that point, she thought that she didn't have the right coverage to have private health insurance. So for both of us, I thought for both of us at that point that we would both have to wait. And it was, sorry, I'm a little distracted. I'm literally sitting in a car park. So, you know, when we made those decisions, I thought, and she thought, that we would be waiting together. Then come to find out, she did have the right level of private health insurance. We did know she had private health insurance, of course, but we weren't sure she had the right coverage level. And as it turned out, she already did have the right coverage level, which was great. I thought that was great. She even said to me, she was like, you know, Hayley, I'm more than happy to wait. Let's have the surgery together. I can wait the year with you. And that was originally the plan, is that we would be operated on at the same time. I said to her, you know, no, go ahead, do it. I want you to do it straight away. I don't want you to wait. Because for her, she had quite severe health concerns. She was in a lot of physical pain with her leg. And, you know, I think it just wasn't logical for her to wait. And I knew that, and I certainly didn't want her to have to wait if she didn't have to. So I encouraged her to go ahead, and of course she wanted to, she did. She had that surgery, so there was no hard feelings there. And then through her process of having all her appointments, I guess that took about 4 months. And then that was all fine. That felt good. It was exciting. We talked about everything a lot. I really went through that process with her. I went to appointments with her. I met her surgeon. I was a big fan of her surgeon. I thought he was a really nice guy. And the day of the surgery, still feeling really positive, not a negative feeling in the world about it all. I felt like my waiting period was starting to, you know, I was through a chunk of it. I felt good. I enjoyed the time that I spent with her. I took carer's leave to spend some time with her after she had her surgery, just to, you know, be there to help lift things and carry things and make sure she was all sorted for food and everything. And anyway, come to find out that her washing machine would flood while I was driving back to Melbourne. So I wasn't that much of a help in her time of need. But yeah, I really enjoyed that time. It was very interesting for me to see her go through that experience. I wasn't there the day she was operated on. I went down, I was at work and I went down in the afternoon. So yeah, it was a really positive, good, interesting experience for me. And it was probably the first sign of negativity came. It just feels terrible to say this, but I think I have to be authentic about my experiences. I think it's important to discuss it. So Mum knows all this. It won't be a surprise to her, but the first negative feelings that I had really were as she started to lose a significant amount of weight quite quickly, and she already had, but I think once she started to get down below a point where we had ever been, she and I had both lost weight together, and I guess as she started to need to shop for new clothes, I would shop with her. She was still really talking about weight loss surgery a lot, and still really focused on the whole weight loss surgery experience a lot. And I started to tire of that, I guess. I started to feel like, I started to feel jealous of her, and jealous is maybe not the right word. I guess envy probably is. And I know that envy and jealousy, it's kind of, it's seen as a real negative thing, I guess, and in a way I suppose it is, but it was just because I wanted something so badly, and I had decided to have something and was made to wait a year, and she got to get it first, and I did feel really left behind. And again, you know, I hate to keep repeating myself, but the majority of it was really positive. It was exciting. I loved seeing her shop. I loved seeing her in new clothes. I loved seeing her pain go away. I loved it all. It was overwhelmingly, it was positive. It was a positive experience, but yeah, that envy and that frustration with my own circumstances really did start to kick in, and I did start to find that really hard. There were a couple of times where things that she said really upset me, I guess. The change in her perspective and her outlook on life was a little bit hard for me to take at times, which is something that I'm not all that proud of. But yeah, there were a couple of little things that she had said that had upset me. I guess my impatience started to get the better of me a little. I'm finding this really hard to explain. But there were just times, let me just leave it at, there were times where she would say things, not intentionally to hurt me, but I guess just any comment on my weight, or the fact that, you know, I've not been sleeved yet, or that it'll look how great it will be when you've lost weight, were kind of painful for me. They were kind of painful for me. So yeah, anyway, and then following that kind of period of feeling, and I just have to say quickly, that completely blindsided me. I really wasn't expecting to feel anything negative at all. I really didn't expect it at all. It just completely came out of the blue, and I think that made it a lot harder. Maybe if I was prepared to feel so left behind and so frustrated and so negative, it wouldn't have hit so hard. But yeah, it did really blindside me. And so then that kind of did pass. I think the closer I got to my own surgery and the more real that felt, that negativity did kind of go away. And then following that, there was just a period where I kind of shut all the weight loss surgery kind of stuff out a bit. And Mum kind of would say, like, oh, you know, maybe it's time you made an appointment and got a referral. Maybe it's time you started to see a surgeon. It's only a couple of months now, you know. Maybe it's time you made an appointment. And I started to kind of feel a bit of resistance and maybe a little bit of fear. I'm not sure why, but I just felt like I just needed to park it, and I just needed to not think about it for a while. I really needed to just put it aside. And I think that really surrounded my work situation, because it wasn't clear to me early on in my training when I would be able to have surgery. And then Mum booked a holiday, and for a while I thought that it would mean I would have to have surgery while she was away, which would have been okay. That would be fine. And then Mum started to talk about how upset she was about that, and I found that kind of hard to deal with. And I think that was hard just because I wanted her there, and, you know, she was saying, oh, it's going to be so hard if I'm overseas and you're going to be here having surgery. And I kind of thought, but, you know, what about how hard that is for me? You know, it's maybe it's hard for you, but you're on a holiday in Europe, and just all sorts of like pretty unreasonable thoughts. But I think because I couldn't see a clear path, I couldn't see exactly when I would be able to be operated on. I couldn't see how it was all going to work out with work and weight loss surgery. And I thought, I've waited 12 months. What if I need to wait another 12 months? It all just became a little bit too much there for a moment. And so I did just take some time, and I just tried not to talk about it too much, and I tried not to think about it too much. And I didn't make appointments even when I probably could have been. You know, now my appointment is in 10 days. I think it's the 13th of November today, and my appointment is on the 23rd, my first appointment. So, you know, I'm leaving it a month and a half before I technically could be operated on, but because of work, it really didn't matter. you know, I don't think it will be the surgeon's availability so much as my work that will be holding me back from being operated on. So that in one way is good news. I've done it now. I've started the process, so I am feeling a lot better. And the moral of all this story is that yes, this can be a bit of an emotional journey, an emotional roller coaster, and I'm just trying to, I guess, be honest about my feelings and really experience it, because this is certainly only going to happen once, and maybe I'll be better off for having had to wait. I'm certainly well informed and I've had a lot of time to make this decision, so yeah, I'm feeling good now. As I said, 3 to 4 months and we'll be done. I think the next video I'm going to make will be about coming out of the weight loss surgery closet, who I told, how I told people, the shame that's involved in telling people that you're going to have weight loss surgery, and I think that's a pretty interesting topic. It's certainly a topic that Mum and I have discussed at length about, philosophically almost, who you should tell and who you should not tell and why. So yeah, that will be my next video. Thanks for putting up with the distraction behind me. Thanks for watching. Thanks to the people who've subscribed since my first video. I really appreciate the comments that I got and the support. This is a great little community and I'm really happy to be a part of it now. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.